If you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel. So if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's go back to the topic. Have you ever sat alone, staring at your screen, wondering if you're holding on to a relationship that's already over? If you're here, chances are you've noticed those undeniable signs. And guess what? That doesn't make you weak, it makes you honest. But don't worry, we're not here to pile on the pressure. We're here to bring clarity. In the chaotic world of relationships, there are moments when you tell yourself, maybe I'm just overthinking this. But the fact that you clicked on this video shows that deep down, you're questioning whether this relationship is truly worth your energy. And trust me, the silence and second guessing are only making things worse. Stoic philosophy doesn't teach us to give up easily. It teaches us to see reality clearly. Let me help you recognize the 5 unmistakable signs that it's time to face the truth. This isn't about judgment. It's about empowering you to take control of your life, calmly and confidently. Here's the truth. Silence is never a source of strength if it's just a way to hide your fears. If you're ready to shed light on everything, let's dive into this conversation together. Start now, because the only thing worse than staying in a dead-end relationship is denying that it's already over. Sign number 1, you don't feel like yourself. Have you ever felt like you have to wear a mask in your own relationship? Like every word you say or step you take has to be calculated to avoid upsetting your partner? A relationship is supposed to be a safe space where you can be yourself, not a stage where you play a role that doesn't feel true to who you are. If you constantly feel like you need to change the way you act, or even the way you think, just to keep the peace, then your relationship may already be veering off course. Imagine this. You're at a party holding a drink, but your mind is racing. You wonder if it's safe to tell a joke you find funny. Will they be embarrassed by you? Or should you just stand quietly next to them, like a shadow? Every time you want to share how you truly feel, you stop yourself because you're afraid they won't understand. Or worse, that they'll use it against you in an argument later. Each of these moments not only disconnects you from your partner, but also from yourself. In Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Always keep your integrity intact." A relationship, no matter how important, should never make you feel like you have to sacrifice your authenticity. When you constantly hide your thoughts, alter your actions, or suppress your emotions just to maintain peace, you're walking on a path littered with sharp thorns of insecurity and inner conflict. These thorns don't just harm the relationship, they eat away at your inner peace. Consider this. You can only pretend for so long before it takes a toll on you. Trying to please someone by denying who you are is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It's exhausting, and eventually the ball will pop back up. In a relationship where you can't be yourself, the inner conflict becomes a slow-burning fire that will one day erupt, leaving destruction in its wake. So, what's the solution? First, ask yourself, are you changing yourself because you want to grow as a person or simply to make your partner happy? If it's the latter, it's time to reassess your relationship. A healthy relationship encourages growth, but not at the cost of your identity. Try opening up to your partner and sharing your feelings honestly. If they truly care, they'll listen and work with you to find a solution. But if they react negatively or dismiss your feelings, that might be a sign the relationship is no longer a place where you can thrive as your true self. Stoic philosophy teaches us the power of staying true to ourselves. You can't build a meaningful life if you're not honest about who you are. A worthwhile relationship is one where both partners support and elevate each other, not one where you feel you have to shrink yourself to keep the other person happy. Remember, you deserve a relationship where you can comfortably be yourself, a place where you don't second-guess sharing a joke, where holding their hand in public feels natural, and where expressing your true feelings isn't met with judgment. So, if you feel like you're walking on eggshells in your relationship, stop and take a moment to look in the mirror. Ask yourself, am I being true to myself? And if not, why am I still here? The second sign, you're constantly questioning how you should communicate. Have you ever found yourself spending an entire evening wondering, should I text them? And if I do, what should I say so I don't come across as too eager or too indifferent? You type out a message, delete it, rewrite it, and then revise it again until your phone screen dims from inactivity. And when they don't reply right away, you start rereading your message, questioning if there was something wrong with the way you phrased it. Worse still, you notice they viewed your Instagram story but haven't responded to the text you sent yesterday. A wave of disappointment, confusion, and frustration rises, leaving you questioning, what did I do wrong? Moments like these not only waste your time, but drain your mental energy. According to Stoic philosophy, a relationship shouldn't leave you feeling insecure or second-guessing every move. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If a relationship has you analyzing someone else's behavior more than directly communicating with them, the problem isn't just that they aren't responding. It's why you're letting it affect you so deeply. Imagine you have a best friend with whom you don't have to overthink. You can text them any time without worrying about how they'll perceive it. A healthy relationship should feel like that, a space where communication flows naturally and without fear. If texting or calling turns into a psychological guessing game, it's a clear sign that communication has broken down. A relationship that leaves you constantly asking questions like, do they really care? Or, am I bothering them? Isn't a relationship. It's an internal battle you're fighting alone. This not only impacts how you see yourself, but also erodes your belief in your own worth. So, how can you address this? Start by being honest with yourself. Does this relationship truly bring you joy and comfort, or is it a source of doubt and anxiety? Try having an open conversation with the other person. Share your feelings and see if they're willing to work on improving the situation. If they don't care or refuse to make an effort, that's a clear sign it might be time to let go. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that inner peace doesn't come from how others behave, but from how we respond to it. A relationship should be a place where you feel safe and understood, not one where you constantly have to guess and strive. If you're in a relationship that feels like trying to solve a puzzle with no solution, ask yourself, do I really need to keep doing this? Remember, a healthy relationship doesn't require you to overanalyze every small detail. It's a space where communication is natural, where care is evident, and where you never have to question your importance. Stoicism teaches us to live with freedom and tranquility, something you absolutely deserve in every aspect of your life, including your relationships. Sign number 3. You think about where the relationship stands all the time. You find yourself in a relationship cloaked in a thick fog of uncertainty. Every day you try to gain a clearer sense of your place, but the more you search, the more lost you feel. Are we exclusive? Are we truly committed to each other? Can I introduce them to my family or bring them to a work event? And if I do, how should I introduce them? These questions don't just exhaust you, they amplify the instability in your mind. If this relationship leaves you constantly questioning instead of offering clarity, it might be time to face the fact that you're in a dead-end situation. Let me tell you about a friend of mine, Lisa. Lisa was in a relationship where every time she thought about inviting her boyfriend to meet her family or friends, she felt anxious. Not because she didn't want to, but because she wasn't sure if he'd be willing to go. Lisa shared that every holiday brought the same internal dilemma. Should she take him to meet her family? Would it be too soon? And how should she introduce him, her boyfriend, or just a special friend? This uncertainty didn't just weigh her down, it stirred deep doubts about the relationship itself. Lisa spent countless nights wondering if her relationship was truly heading anywhere. But all she received in return was ambiguity and a lack of commitment from her partner. Instead of feeling cherished and valued, Lisa began to doubt her own worth. She became trapped in a cycle of unanswered questions, gradually losing the confidence she once had. Lisa's story is a powerful reminder that any relationship clouded with uncertainty and lack of clarity is unlikely to thrive. Unresolved questions and instability don't just drain your mental energy, they reveal that the relationship is failing to meet the most fundamental needs: clarity and security. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that clarity and self-worth should be your priorities. Instead of seeking validation from your partner, ask yourself, what makes you happy? What makes you feel valued? A relationship shouldn't be a source of anxiety. It should be a place where you find peace. If your partner can't provide the clarity you deserve, it's worth asking whether continuing to try is truly worthwhile. Seneca once said, "Happiness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to deal with them." If your current relationship only offers ambiguity and instability, remember that you deserve one that makes you feel safe and at ease. Prioritize your own worth, and you will find clarity in both love and life. Sign number 4. You're starting to get annoyed. There's something strange that happens in relationships when they start to unravel, even though you're not quite ready to admit it. What once inspired joy, excitement, and warmth now begins to feel like an endless source of irritation. At first, you chalk it up to having a bad day or being stressed at work, but deep down, you know something has changed. The feelings of frustration seem to appear more often, and they're harder to shake. Take the story of my friend Emily, for example. She used to share how her husband, Jake, would leave little notes around the house before heading to work. Simple things like "have a great day" or a smiley face on a sticky note. It was something she looked forward to, a small but sweet gesture that always made her smile. But over time, those notes started to feel like clutter. Instead of smiling, Emily found herself rolling her eyes, irritated that he kept leaving them lying around. It didn't stop there. Emily noticed that every time Jake suggested they try a new restaurant or plan a weekend getaway, she felt an overwhelming urge to make up an excuse. Not because she was busy, but because the idea of spending more time together didn't excite her anymore. It felt like a chore. Worst of all, Emily confessed that when Jake's name popped up on her phone or he walked through the door after work, she felt a wave of dread instead of happiness. That's when she realized something profound. Her feelings had shifted, and she couldn't ignore it anymore. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our emotions aren't random occurrences. They're a response to our circumstances and perceptions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The frustration and dread Emily felt weren't random. They were clear indicators that the relationship no longer fulfilled her emotionally. Instead of bringing her peace and joy, it had become a source of constant tension. If you see yourself in Emily's story, it's time to pause and reflect. These feelings of frustration don't appear out of nowhere. They're a warning sign, a reminder that something fundamental is missing in your relationship. Healthy relationships shouldn't feel like an uphill battle. They should be a safe space where you feel comforted, understood, and free to be yourself. So what do you do when you find yourself in this situation? Stoic philosophy suggests that instead of avoiding the truth, face it with clarity and courage. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Sit down and ask yourself, what's really bothering you? Is it that you've lost your connection to your partner, or are you holding on to unrealistic expectations? Often, the frustration you feel is a signal that it's time to ask the bigger question. Does this relationship still serve both of you? And ultimately, remember that you don't have to stay in a relationship out of obligation or fear of hurting the other person. Facing the truth, even when it's painful, is the first step to rediscovering peace and joy in your life. Listen to your emotions, and if necessary, have the courage to walk away, because you deserve a relationship that brings you true happiness and a sense of calm. The fifth and final sign. You're questioning whether or not you have the same values. Have you ever felt like you're slowly becoming someone else just to keep your relationship afloat? It's that nagging question of whether you and your partner truly share the same core values. You sense yourself changing, but not in a way that feels right. For example, maybe you used to cherish quiet weekend mornings spent running and enjoying coffee with friends. But now you're filling that time doing what they want, just to avoid conflict. You even notice that you no longer listen to your favorite music, choosing instead to play the songs they prefer. This isn't a hypothetical situation for me. I've been in a relationship where, day by day, I felt like I was abandoning parts of myself. I've always loved evenings spent reading, writing, and reflecting in peaceful solitude. But my partner thrived in chaos, parties, loud gatherings, and constant activity. At first, I thought I could adapt. I started saying yes to plans I didn't actually want to attend. I stopped my nightly reading habit because I didn't want to seem distant. I even began wearing clothes they liked rather than outfits that felt comfortable and authentic to me. But deep inside, the pain began to grow. Not because they forced me, but because I forced myself to become someone I wasn't. Every time I found myself in a situation that felt wrong, my mind was torn. One part wanted to make them happy, while the other part mourned what I was losing, myself. I realized I was spending less and less time on things that brought me joy. Sacrificing my identity for the relationship didn't make me love it more. It only left me feeling lonelier within my own life. Stoic philosophy reminds us that every healthy relationship must strike a balance and help both partners grow. If you feel a sense of relief when you get the chance to spend time alone or with close friends, it's a clear sign that this relationship isn't helping you thrive. It's squeezing you into a mold that doesn't fit. The troubling reality is that many people confuse chemistry with compatibility. Chemistry can light up a relationship quickly, like a matchstick, but it eventually burns out. Compatibility, on the other hand, means that you and your partner bring out the best in each other, building something that lasts. If you're questioning the meaning of your relationship, here's a simple test. Spend an evening out with friends or on your own without your partner. If you feel relief, as if you can finally be yourself, then it's time to take a hard look at the balance in your relationship. Seneca once said, "Happiness does not come from conforming to what others impose, but from living truthfully to your own values." Remember, you deserve a relationship that doesn't make you question or change who you are. You deserve a partnership that encourages you to become the best version of yourself, not someone else entirely. So let me recap the 5 signs that your relationship is making you lose yourself. You constantly question how to communicate. You're always wondering where the relationship stands. You're starting to feel annoyed, and you're questioning whether or not you share the same values. This is the wake-up call you need. As the Stoics often remind us, know yourself, and you will never lose your way. The truth might be uncomfortable right now, but it's exactly what you need to hear to take action. I hope this video helps you recognize when a relationship is no longer serving your growth. Now is the time to accept that reality and move forward. And next time, when you're ready to enter a new relationship, remember that you deserve someone who brings out the best in you, someone who doesn't make you compromise your true self. Hi, I'm Stoic Training. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm confident you'll also appreciate the next 2 videos I've specially chosen for you. Keep building your personal growth journey with Stoic Training.